Hi, I'm Bernie from Crafter's Companion, and today I'm bringing you our Patchwork Dies Hexagons. Now these are nested hexagons in here. You're getting 10. You're getting from size 1 inch up to 5.5 inches. Let's have a look on the back. You can see all of those sizes on there. So let's cut some out and see what they're all about. Right, so first we need our plates and we need our fabric. So I'm going to show you how you can cut multiple ones at the same time. Obviously I'm using our A4 Gemini here. You can put them through our Junior, and some of the smaller ones will go through the Go as well. So I've got 6 layers of cotton fabric here, and I'm going to lay that on my plate. So I've got my clear plate, I've got my metal shim, I've got my 6 layers of fabric. You can cut up to 6 layers, we recommend, but if you want to do a few less or a few more, you can try it and see. Depends on the weight of your fabric and what fabric you're using. So you can cut with these, you can cut through your faux leather, your glitter fabric, our cork, any, you know, try it, it'll work. So I'm going to cut this size here, and then I'm going to cut another size further down. Now what I've got is a strip of fabric. What you could do is also have your fabric pre-cut into squares. If you've got scraps to use up, keep them all in a pile. There we go, so we'll pop them on there. Then I've got our plastic shim and our other clear plate, and we're going to pop that through the Gemini. And I do like to multi-cut as well, so I'll cut extra sizes, so I've got them all stored. So if I've got a project and I need some quick shapes, I've already got them cut. You can hear that crunching noise as well. That's saying that it's working through the machine. So let's have a look at this. So remember, we've gone through 6 layers of fabric. There we go. And that there is just cut, just absolutely no problem at all. And then we've got these ones here. So let's cut some more. So we'll see how many more we can get on here. The other thing as well, you can see you can fussy cut. So you can see how I've got the die placed on there around that centre shape. So if you are wanting to do English paper piecing, this is what you can do. And also, if I just grab this little bag that we've got here, can you see this little bag that we've made here? If I just get that die, this is the die that's been used. And then the smaller die in the set has been used for the paper. And then this has been wrapped around, and then you get this end shape here. Join them all together, and then they've been made into a lovely zipper pouch. How fantastic is that? So it's combining your hand sewing and your machine sewing. So let's cut some more. I'm going to fussy cut that one. And again, we're just moving the fabric up. Oh. And if you get a bit of there, you can just trim that off. Put that one through there. So let's put that back through the machine. Now, when you're sewing hexagons together, you may have heard of the dreaded Y seam, but I'm going to show you how you join them together, and it's so easy. It really is. And we've got a fabulous tool that you can use as well to help you along with it. Alright, so we've got another 6 layers, just like through butter. There we go. So let's pop these aside. Bit of room. So we'll get these laid out. So with these as well, because you've got the shape there already, you're not having to worry about the angles, you're not having to worry about the sizes. Every single one is going to be accurate. Every single time. So let's have a look. 2 more of those. And there, you're now joining your hexagons. Now, you can go on and join if you're making a big piece. But then every single time we've got this Y seam. So if I separate these out, can you see there? If I turn it that way, you can see there's your Y. So that's why it's called the Y seam. So let's see how we join these together. It's so easy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our miter tool. Now this here is our tool here with a number of angles on there. that'll help you line up, and this line around the outside here is 1/4 of an inch away. So what this is going to do is going to help us start and stop sewing when we're doing Y seams. So let me show you how. So first of all, we're going to join these two pieces together here. But what we want to do is we don't want to sew right to the end because we want to fit this piece in, and it makes it really tricky. So we need to stop 1/4 of an inch away from each end. So what we're going to do is we're going to join them together. We'll just pop a pin in. And this is where the tool comes in really handy. So we know that it was this edge that we're going to do. Now we take our tool, and you don't even have to measure the angle. You just put the tool on to find till you get to the right angle that you need. And then we're going to take a heat erasable pen. And there's a hole in the tool right at that 1/4 inch point. So I'm going to draw one in that side. And I'm going to turn it to the other end because we might want to join more on. If you're only doing 3 together to then applique on, you can just sew off the bottom end. So now we've got our 2 points. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sew from that point to that point in our machine, and we're going to reverse stitch at each end just to secure those stitches. So let's take that to the machine. And this is where, if you've got a speed setting on your machine, you can always lower that speed if you find that it goes too fast for you. Also, if you've got a stop-start function, that's ideal as well. But if you haven't, it's absolutely fine. You can still do it without. So I'm just positioning that there, and I've got onto a dot. And I'm just going to sew along with a 1/4 inch seam. And when you get to the dot, you're just going to reverse. There we go. And then if I open that up there, we've got our seam together. But if I then bring that back, you can see there that it's stopped from the edge. Now we're going to join these two together. So again, we're going to put right sides together, but this time we're going to flip it over. And we're going to be guided from that point where we stopped sewing last time. So I'm going to press the seam just to that side. You can press as you go along, or you can finger press. So let's pop a pin in. And it's just 3 easy steps. And then what we want to do is mark here where we're going to stop. So we're going to get our tool. We're going to pop it on there, get to that little hole, 1/4 inch, and we're just going to mark it. And now we're going to sew from there to there, again securing our stitches. Let's take it over to the machine. I actually reduced my stitch length as well to about 2 mil, especially if you're doing smaller pieces. There we go. I'm just going to go along. Now if you miss it and you're a bit short, you can always put it back under your machine and do another couple of stitches. You don't need to unpick. So then, when I've opened that out, we've now got this 1/4 inch here that we're going to flip. So we're going to sew the orange and the blue. We're going to line that up first, and then what you'll see is your other piece will then turn into a half hexie, and it'll just fold down. And just get everything lined up. Again, pop a pin in. And we just need to mark that point because we're going to sew from here where we stopped sewing to here. So let's mark that again. Oops. Let's get our angle. And pop that in there. And then once we've sewn this, it's done. Just need to give it a press. So let's put that under. Again, 1/4 of an inch. And then when we open it up, you've now got your Y seam. So this is where you then go into adding your other ones, but every time you're going to add one, you've got the Y seam. So this one here, if we remember, we left that 1/4 of an inch gap there, which that one's going to slot into. So you're just going to slot them all in until you get to as many designs done, until you're happy. Or like I say, if I bring that bag back in, with this one here, what's happened is, although this was English paper piecing, you could do the same with this, make up your piece of fabric and then cut it out and make your project. So shall we have a look at some projects? We've got this zipper bag here, look at that one. And then we've got an alternative here. Now this one has been machined and then it's been made with binding at the side. So that's another option. And then we have this quilt. Now this is absolutely amazing because with this one, what's happened here is they've all been cut out. They've been glued down with our stick and spray. And then we've used a variegated thread just to give it that little bit of difference. And we've got the blanket stitch. So it's been appliqued all the way around the outside. And that just looks so different. If I find my hexagon, to say we had the hexagon that we put together, the 3, you could put extra on here. So it shows how you can build it up. So that is our hexagon patchwork die set.